All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Wrangler Paws. So on this episode, what we're gonna do is we have a pup update specifically with his diet. Specifically, the raw diet has been given the axe recently due to some unforeseen issues there, and then just general health updates as well. So here we go. Here is Mr. Wrangler today in his perfect gloriness, doing well.
Wake up. Say hi.
He's doing a big snooze right now.
Say we're just chilling. So I can't remember how much I've actually told y'all about what's been going on with Wrangler, but at his first vet visit, we took in a sample of stool. But the breeder told us to. It's a common thing, like puppies get worms and whatever, like they get tested. So his came back positive for Giardia, which they told me, was fairly common in this area, and like a lot of puppies get it. No big deal. We'll put him on an anti-parasitic and an antibiotic, and 6 days later he should be good to go. So before that, he was having some like mucousy stools, like some solid chunks of food in it, and so like we gave him the medicine. He was fine, and then after about 2 weeks or so, he started having loose stools once a day, and then his other stools were totally normal. I didn't really know what to think of it because he wasn't showing any other signs or symptoms. He loves to eat, and like he was drinking, super active, like totally normal puppy, but then he'd have diarrhea once a day. And so I called the vet, and they're like, okay, like bring in another sample. And so I did, and we got it tested. It came back positive again for Giardia. It was so bad. Like the first time a tech called me, or just some employee. The second time they told me, well, actually the vet herself called me and told me that they found a lot of Giardia in his stool. And I was like, oh, great. So apparently dogs can reinfect themselves with Giardia if they're like out in the, going to the bathroom in the same area, or just like around other dogs, which we live in an apartment and he's not fully vaccinated. So at the time we were just taking him to one designated area to keep him away from other dogs. But then that kind of backfired because we don't know because we continued to take him to the same spot, did he reinfect himself, or like did he get reinfected from another dog? So we treated him for 9 days, and his stools were perfect after that for about 5 days. And then he started having diarrhea again. So I called the vet. So basically, long story short, because he started having diarrhea so quickly after coming off the medication, which when he came off, they're like, yeah, let's wait 2 weeks and test again to make sure it's gone. But they wanted to wait that period of time to see if it came back. So we didn't even make it the 2 weeks. So they're like, okay, we need to put him on a bland diet. So currently he's eating boiled chicken and rice, which we'll show y'all in a little bit. And, he's transitioning back to kibble, which he was always on half kibble and half raw. So I talked to them about the raw diet and just kind of like, could that be the cause of it all? And they were very quick to say, yes, absolutely. And I knew that like there's risks obviously that you run with feeding raw. I've come to terms with the fact that raw diets are great for certain dogs, and you just have to feed your dog whatever works for them. And clearly at this time, raw is not working for Wrangler because we're not sure if he picked the Giardia up from the breeder, or was it another dog at the complex? Was it his food? Like we'll never know exactly where he got it, or if he got reinfected again, or did he get infected the second time from the food? Did he get a third infection? I really don't know.
So with all that being said, the real moral of the story is, at least for right now, Wrangler has an issue with Giardia. We're trying to solve that issue. It potentially could be caused from the raw diet, or it could potentially be caused from reinfection. So what we have to do now is really attack both ends and make sure he doesn't, one, reinfect himself, and then two, continue on with this bland diet for a little while. So do you want to get into the bland diet?
Yeah, let's do it.
Chicken and white rice. Can't beat it.
Wrangler, is it time? Wrangler, are you hungry? Is it time for food? Are you ready for food? Let's eat. We want your food.
Okay, so this is quite literally
Chicken and white rice.
chicken and white rice. And the purpose of using the chicken and the white rice is what?
So basically it's just super bland to kind of reset his GI system and let it rest. So that way, like, we can transition him back to kibble or dehydrated food or like whatever we ultimately decide to go with other than raw. And he might take to it a little bit better. So we got like ratios and whatnot, like a recipe from the vet that I followed and like mixed it all together. And they told me to give half a cup every 2 to 3 hours initially for like 2 to 3 days, which we did that. And now we're giving kibble too, sorry. So I'm starting to cut back on the amount of times that I'm giving him the chicken and white rice per day and starting to give him like, you know, a third of a cup of kibble here or there to kind of gradually, over the span of a week, get him to full kibble.
Okay, I realize some of you may be wondering what is going on back here. Wrangler wants his food. I'm gonna make this quick. We had to put blankets over our windows because it's about 106 or 108 degrees in the Pacific Northwest right now. It's like some historical record. Anywho, the afternoon sun beats down on our apartment on this outside wall. So we're trying to keep the heat out, the cool in. That was the best thing we could do. Hopefully this heat goes away soon, but that's the reason for the blankets up. Just didn't want you to think we're crazy.
Well, that and the Pacific Northwest hates air conditioning, so our entire apartment is cooled by one air conditioner under a window in the living room, and that's it. So we're doing what we can to help out.
But at least we have air conditioning. That's not a guarantee up here.
Yeah, most houses don't.
Yeah, if you're watching this from somewhere where it's hot, typically year-round, like us, we're from Tennessee originally, air conditioning was just a given. It's apparently not in this part of the country. So it's honestly a blessing that we have any type of AC at all. Let's get back to the food.
He is about ready to lose it. Wrangler, are you ready? Are you ready?
Oh, he knows.
Do you think he's ready?
I think he's ready.
Okay, in, sit.
All done? Wrangler, grab your bowl. Grab your bowl. Come on. Yeah, that's a good boy.
Grab your bowl.
Get your bowl. To the kitchen. Let's go, Mr. Wrangler.
Grab your bowl.
Thank you so much. So we're trying to teach him how to actually take his bowl and bring it back to the kitchen for us. We're halfway there. He gets pretty much to right about here, and then it's done. Okay, so from here forward, so how much longer are we going to be doing the bland diet before we fully get back into kibble, and are we going to go back to raw food?
So he is going to be on the bland diet for, like, to some degree for the next, like, 4 or 5 days to get back to full kibble. And honestly, at this point, I don't want to go back to raw. It's just him as a puppy, and, like, we had to deal with, you know, not weight loss, but he wasn't gaining enough weight. He just looked really skinny. And just, like, dealing with the meds and the weight, and like, raw is just not worth it for him at this point. Like I said, it works great for some dogs. Currently, as a puppy, it's not working for him. He will eventually get to kibble. We might try dehydrated. We'll see. But that's just kind of our update on him. The little guy's improving, I hope. You know, his stools are still not great, but he's not super skinny like he was. He goes to the vet in a few days. And we'll do another stool sample to see if he still has an infection or not. Well, that'll be like the 2-week mark that he was supposed to get one anyway. Wish us luck. We want this little one to be healthy.
So guys, curious, have you tried feeding your dog raw before? If so, have you had any luck with it? Have you had any hurdles with it? We're curious, is it something where you really can't give it to puppies? Can you give it to puppies? We just so far have not had very good luck on the raw diet, and we're kind of in the situation we are. But curious to hear from y'all if you've had any other, any luck doing it otherwise.
Yeah, something different than our situation.
Yeah, so if you have, let us know. Be happy to, really glad to hear from you guys and any tips or tricks that you may have. But until next time, guys, that's all we have to wrap it up today. If you like the video, consider subscribing, hit the like button. We would appreciate it. And we'll see you in the next one.
Bye. Say bye, Wrangler.
Do a boop.
Boop.